What is going on, you guys? My name is Matt and welcome to Downshift. I've been hanging out with this Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro for the last week, and it really kind of hit me that this is one of the coolest off-road trucks that you can get today, which made me think there's another off-road truck that I really enjoyed last year. So this is the 2019 Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro versus the 2019 Ford Raptor. And today we're going to show you exactly why the TRD Pro is basically just like a baby Raptor. Now, where the similarities start between these two is in their essence entirely. The Toyota Tacoma essentially is the benchmark. It defines the mid-size truck segment, and their TRD Pro is their top-of-the-line, cream-of-the-crop, off-road ready variant. Much like the Ford Raptor here. The F-150 defines and embodies the full-size pickup truck segment it has for years, and this is their cream-of-the-crop, top-of-the-heap, off-road ready offering. This is a very, very special truck indeed. It is going to have the incredible reliability and durability that you expect from Toyota, and it has one of the highest resale values of anything on the market today. Same thing with the Raptor. It has incredibly high resale value. It's very, very sought after, and that is why these two are such great pairings. And with that in mind, let's jump into the Tacoma and see why this thing has been so successful for so long. All right, so we're behind the wheel of the Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro. We've got a 3.5 liter V6 making 278, 280-ish horsepower and 265 pound-feet of torque. It's really not fast, guys. There's a big difference between this and the Raptor. It's this engine. The Raptor is a heavier truck. It's got the same 6 cylinders, but they have a turbo. It's their EcoBoost. It's just a much faster truck. However, if you buy this Tacoma for speed, you are buying it for the wrong reasons. This is an off-road machine. That is what it's intended for. That is what the powertrain is suited for, and that is what you're supposed to do with it. This thing is about off-roading. It has a bunch of off-road goodies, such as a skid plate, smaller wheels with big knobby tires, jacked up suspension, as well as Fox racing shocks. Those are the real deal, people. And of course, under the skin and mechanically, you have a bunch of stuff going on as well. You've got a bunch of different drive modes. You have different gearbox and range settings. You have a bunch of controls for your 2-wheel, the 4-wheel, high, low, all sorts of things. And you have a locking differential and a whole bunch more. Now, since this truck has all these off-road related bits, it sacrifices a little bit of on-road comfort and performance. This is very, very tight in the suspension. You feel every bump on the road. It just translates through the suspension into the cabin, and it's a really bumpy and rigid ride. Also, I will note, I don't know if it's just my tester or if it's all the TRD Pros, but the brake pedal travel on this thing is just crazy. Like, you push in a little bit and nothing happens whatsoever, and then you push a little bit more and it's just like full brake on all of a sudden. It's kind of like Alfa Romeo's brake-by-wire system, and I didn't really love it in that, and I definitely don't love it in this. I think I get what they're trying to do. Like, if you are crawling or if you are somewhere off-road and you need to be really precise about your inputs and you need to stop immediately, you just slam on this brake and trust that this thing's not going to go anywhere. Maybe that's what they were going for, but like I said, all these off-road components sacrifice a little bit of on-road comfortability. Now, as I got to the interior of this thing, I was engulfed by a wave of confusion. This is an almost $50,000 truck, and I expected the inside to be what you would expect in a $50,000 truck. No, not anything like that. This interior is very stark, it's kind of barren, it's very old school, but I think I know why. Again, it goes back to the reason that this vehicle exists, the reason that people buy it, because they want the rugged, they want the off-road, they want something that they're familiar and comfortable with, so they don't stuff it to the gills with all this latest technology and all this design and all this refresh and things like that. They just make the truck work. They put technology where they need to in the form of like a lane keep assist, an adaptive cruise, and things like that. But they kept like an old mechanical handbrake. All the the AC vents are these old school little circle things, and the whole interior, of course, is the old Toyota infotainment system as well. But this interior is meant to get dirty. It's meant to be taken off-road and get dusty and muddy and sandy and gritty, and you could just wash it off and clean it off without worrying about damaging your leathers or anything like that. It's meant to get used and abused because it can take it. The more I'm in this truck, the more I come to understand and appreciate it. I absolutely love the look of this truck. It's so rugged, it's so mean. I love the voodoo blue paint job and all the black accents, the TRD badging, the skid plate with the TRD color pop. It's fantastic. This truck is a vibe. It's not necessarily like, you don't buy this for necessarily a practical reason unless you need the off-road practicality and you need the reliability and the durability of a Toyota that's going to go forever. But you buy this thing because it, again, encapsulates and embodies a vibe. The same thing with the RAV4 Adventure that I drove earlier this year. It elicited an emotional response. It made me want to push it. It made me want to go explore and try to take something off-road and do stuff that I hadn't done before. This truck does a fantastic job of that. This truck is a vibe. Now, like I said, this thing still has some modern amenities, but I think it's kind of funny, again, the way that they pick and chose what to have high tech on here. Like I said, they have, the touchscreen infotainment system. They have lane keep assist and adaptive cruise. But you still have to manually adjust your seats. Like you slide them back and forward, and it's a $50,000 truck. Like, there are some things, Toyota, that you can splurge on and give to us. We will be okay with it. Ultimately, this front cabin area is very utilitarian. It's very purpose-built. It's very form follows function. And the same thing can be said about the back. There's not a lot going on back there. You have reasonable amounts of room, and this is the double cab or the bigger cab or whatever they call it. I fit my whole family in here. I got Sadie in here, my mom, my dad. We were up at the cottage. We were doing our thing, and we all fit relatively fine. I'm not gonna say that I want to go all the way up there with everybody, but we went out to lunch, and it was totally cool. One thing that is really cool, though, is that you have kind of hidden storage behind the seats in the second row and also under the seats. In a mid-sized truck, that's pretty freaking good. And the last thing I'll talk about is the bed, and it's a 5-foot bed. You get the double cab and you get a 5-foot bed. To me, it's usable. It's a mid-sized truck. Towing capacity is about 6,400 pounds, so you don't necessarily need like a huge bed. I don't think I would need a 6-foot bed. The proportions of this thing look good. It's practical, it's utilitarian, it's extremely capable. And that's what this thing is about. I mean, you still even have more practicality in your bed other than just having a bed. You have a little cubby back there that you can put like tie-down straps, bungee cords, all sorts of stuff, and you have like a normal house outlet back there as well. So you can plug in stuff while you're going camping and play music at your campsite, or whatever you want to do when you go off-roading and do adventurous stuff. So now let's jump into the Raptor and see how it stacks up. It's good to be back in my favorite truck, and before we kind of start talking about it, I do want to apologize. I won't be driving for the sake of this video. There's some logistical things that came up, but I have driven this car, like I said, last year, so trust me, I know what I'm talking about when it comes to this truck. Now, the first thing to keep in mind is the price and size difference between these two trucks. The Tacoma is extremely expensive at just about 50 grand for a mid-sized pickup truck, and the same can be said about this Raptor at about mid to low 70s for a full-size pickup. Now, this isn't to say that the price isn't justified, it's just something to keep in mind that both of these are nearing the top of the price ranges for each segment. Now, for another 20 to 25 grand, this Raptor should be a lot more truck than the Tacoma, and it is. This thing is bigger, it's more practical, it's more capable, it's more powerful, it's faster, just a little bit better truck. However, we could talk about the differences between these two trucks for hours. The Tacoma is a little bit more rugged focused, this is a bit more luxurious, this is way better on the road, that thing can crawl like crazy. But here we're going to be focusing on what makes these trucks similar and not what makes them different. We're here to diagnose the similarities and tell you whether or not the Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro is a good alternative if this Raptor is a little bit too big and maybe a little bit too expensive for your taste. Now we'll start with the similarities outside like we did with the Tacoma. Now not only does this Raptor have the same skid plate, have the same jacked up suspension, have the same smaller wheels and big knobby tires to maximize grip off-road, but these cars also, these trucks also have the same Fox branded racing shocks for off-road usage that make them extremely capable in all types of terrain. The mechanics on the inside are very similar as well. You have a bunch of different drive modes, you have gearbox settings, you have differential and four-wheel drive controls, you have a locking diff, you even have pitch and roll meters on both trucks' center cluster to tell you just exactly your angle for approach, descent, and your articulation. So as far as off-road pedigree goes, this Raptor and that Tacoma are pretty evenly matched. It's just when you get these trucks on tarmac and off the trails that this Raptor starts to pull away. The Raptor's ride is better, it has more amenities, it's more luxurious, it's all around just a bit more capable truck. And to be honest, you're only going to get 2 or 3 more MPG highway in the Tacoma than you are in this big Raptor. Now ultimately this comes down to the fact that the Raptor just takes everything the Tacoma has and just ups the ante. The Tacoma has a sunroof, Raptor's got 2. Toyota has a touchscreen infotainment system, Ford's is better. What it really comes down to for me is the simple livability of the Raptor. This is just a more ready truck for you to get in, go to work, come home, and go off-roading and push it if you want to. Whereas this is tailored and designed for that specific purpose in mind. And it kind of sacrifices some of the livability when it goes that far. And with that, that brings us to the end of this head-to-head. So thank you so much for watching, guys. If you want to see more on the Raptor, I know I didn't go super in-depth with it today, go ahead and click this info card at the top right of your screen. I have my full review on the Raptor that I did last year. It's very unchanged from last year to this year, so go ahead and make sure you check that out if you want more information on this badass man machine. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead, leave that thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe, patreon.com/downshiftmke, and I'll see you guys next time.